Hello, Lynn from Early Riser Crafting, and today we are going to still work on distress dots because there's so many ways you can arrange them and do patterns all over or patterns like this. This is a white bag. If you remember on our last video we used craft bags, and I wanted to use white bags because then I don't have to do the white picket fence underneath. I can just go straight to the color. And I used the wall safe tape, which is only sticky on one side. I placed it diagonally across my white bag, and then I started with the dots, and then while I was still had the tape laid out, I began to also do the small black dots as they start to fade away. See, they start to fade away and fade away. So your strongest area is right in here. Now, before I begin, I do want to clarify something. There's two kinds of fine point when it comes to Sharpie. There's the pen, the Sharpie pen fine point, which I've used in my previous videos. And then there's the regular Sharpie, which is a marker. See? It's a marker, and that's also considered a fine point. So now that I've clarified that, I want to show you the first thing we're going to work on is the same concept, but just with a little bag. The same size bag that we used here, we're going to do it here. So we're going to take a bag, we're going to take our wall safe tape, we're going to do a diagonal, just like that. And now I'm going to pick colors that I really haven't used together. I've been going for the bright colors, but now I'm going to do something very sort of natural, subtle. I'm going to be using Vintage Photo, weathered wood, and old paper. So the first color I'm going to start with, and as you can see on this bag, I'm only using the daubers. I'm not using a bigger size like this because it's a small bag. I'm still just using the daubers. So we have this, we have the weathered wood, and then we have the espresso, which I'll put on this side. Vintage Photo. Okay, so to begin, I'm going to use, and I'm going to follow, because I do like the way this came out. My lightest color I did 4 of, so I'm going to kind of follow that repeat. So I'm going to put my first old paper, I'm going to put it like right up here. And it doesn't have to be exact. The second old paper I put towards the end, and I went a little lower, and then 2 more, right, for that size. This one is pretty, just a little of the tip. Okay. And I'm not using picket fence. I'm going directly from the distressed ink right to the craft paper. And then for this one, I'll go halfway. Well, a little more than halfway. Okay, so that's all I need for the old paper, which has a green tint to it. I'll put that aside. The next one is weathered wood. So that's going to take the place of this color. There's only 2 little ones, and I'm going to sort of follow the same pattern because it works. I'll put that there. I will put this one pretty much underneath that one. Okay? So you see this colorway is very different from other things I've been working on. And then finally, the vintage photo is going to be 3 of these. When I have a layout that works, I kind of follow it. So, I mean, why not, right? I know what works. So we got a light dark brown there. Got a dark brown there. And this one kind of goes right under there. Okay, and that's all of the dots I put. So this goes pretty fast. And you can buy, like I said, these craft bags, Hobby Lobby, Michaels. You can get them in white. They usually come 25 to a pack or 18 to a pack. Now, I use a stamp saying best wishes. But before I use the stamp, I'm going to go to my marker. No, wait a second, excuse me. I used the pen on this, the small pen. I did use the small pen. So I'm using my Sharpie pen, and now what I have to do, and I have to be able to move it around. And this is something I forgot to tell you about, and I do apologize. But, and while this is drying, this is a clear piece of acetate. And in the textile industry, because that's my background, I went to FIT, I was a textile designer for 30 years. So I know a lot about layout and repeat. And so, you know, layout is really important in design, even if you're just doing a card or a bag. So what we used to do as textile designers, we're working on big patterns. And we have to rest our hand down. So we would lay a clear piece of acetate so we could see our design underneath. And then, for instance, if I'm going to start doing dots, I can put my hand actually on it. See, I'm not going to get any oil or grease from my hand. And then I'm going to start doing my dots. So that's normally how we would do it. So I have my little dots all done. Now I pull off the tape. Yay! There we go. So it definitely has a different look. It's darker, it doesn't have bright colors, but I did want to show you options as far as, you know, when you go into a wallpaper store, you look at a wallpaper book, and you'll see a pattern you like, and then they'll maybe have it in 5 different colorways, natural, more of a pastel version, a jewel tone, dark, sort of bright colored version. Well, this is the same idea. I wanted to try doing something here. It's very clean and bright. I wanted to try something completely different, sort of like what they do in a wallpaper book. Now, the way I did this is I have this set of stamps. I'll move this out of the way. Just for you, happy birthday, happy anniversary, best wishes. Thank you so much. Birthday wishes, feel better soon, congratulations, all different ones. So I think what I'm going to do for this one, I like just for you. Let's see. Kind of like that in there. Okay, so I have to stamp this, and have to be honest with you, I am not the best stamper at all. But I'm going to put this down on my stamping acrylic block. There's the acrylic block. So, and I put it on the diagonal. I usually put it on the diagonal. And then I get a regular black ink. Not a distressed ink, but just a regular deep ink. This is Memento Tuxedo Black. Stays on, makes a nice dark black. Now, I want to try and do this really good. Not just because I'm doing it on camera, but I don't want to have to fix it if I don't do a good stamp. So I'm going to make sure I ink this up well. That looks pretty good. And now I have to really concentrate. Because, you know, it's a one-shot deal. If I screw it up, I screw it up. And I probably just screwed it up. I don't think I got... Well, that's not too bad, but it's not good. I'm not happy with that. But what will be, will be. Now, what I can do is I can fix it. I can take my black Sharpie pen. I can just like go over some of these lines because, see, I'm making it darker. You just have to sort of go over the letters a little bit, maybe not over every letter, but just to help it out. Yeah, I'm not good at stamping. There's definitely a trick to it. I just haven't caught on yet. So I'm going to try. And then I'll get the Y. Okay, I don't think I can live with this. I think it is too sloppy. I don't know. That's really ugly. So this is what I have to do. I have to cut out this bag on the diagonal, which I did ahead of time because I had a feeling I'm not a good stamper. I have to tell you the truth. And if you lay it in this way, I'm going to be able to cover this up perfectly. And I'm going to stamp on this. So if you make a mistake, you can always fix it. So I'm just going to, because I don't want this to move, I'm going to put just a little bit of tape on that, just to hold it down, just a teeny weeny bit. And hopefully this will work. Because now it's flat down. See, there's always a way to fix it. And you have to cut on the diagonal. And I'm going to explain to you why. When you're fixing something like this. Things are longer on the diagonal. If I go straight across, let me switch this around. This is 3.5 inches. But if I go on the diagonal, it goes beyond 3.5 inches. See, that's the half. So I have to make sure I cut this on the diagonal so it will definitely go over. Diagonals are always longer. So here we go. I'm going to try it again. This is where you need a little patience. Can't be too rough on yourself. Make sure I have going in the right direction. This should come out much better. I certainly hope so. Oops, I just touched it. Wow, I just screwed it up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. See what I did there? Okay. And I'm not cutting this again. Well, maybe I have to. So now I redid it off screen. And that's much, much better. So now I'm going to glue it on. And as you all know, I use the Berry Art Glue. I like it. It's got a nice tip applicator. I'll just show you how I'm doing this. Make sure I'm in the camera. I'm going to glue it down. And this is what happens when your fingers are dirty. See, all the black. I got a smudge there. I got a smudge there. That's what happens. You got to keep your fingers clean. But you get the idea. I followed this pattern, and now I have 2 of them. Best wishes and just for you. And this one I'm not doing the fold over because this one, a lot of my gift bags I like to leave open so the tissue pops out real pretty. You wrap the gift in tissue and then you let the tissue pop out. Now this is a bag I did because we know how I did this already. I put the tape down. I did my Dorbers, different sizes. Using 3 colors, pickled raspberry, abandoned coral, and spice marmalade. Those 3 colors. Then I did all my little dots. Now, I am not going to do this because these are very small. See, I mean, they're not big enough for a bag this size. See, that gets, I think that gets lost. That's my opinion. So what I did was, and I did mention to you this before, to practice doing stuff on the computer. So I had done just for you, thank you for your business. Then I did, because I use these bags, I have tons of them. And I use these bags in craft shows for my artwork, my framed artwork. I do a lot of 5x7s and 4x6s. Celebrating you, just for you. So I've already cut out this. I liked it just for you because I'm not stamping this. There's just no way in the world I'm going to be stamping this. So I'm going to glue that down like that. Now, because this is so long, the best way to glue this down is to put the glue on the actual bag. So I'm just going to do a line along here, a nice little line, go straight down, another line, getting close to the edge, not too close, and then a line up. Make sure I'm at the edge here. I don't want it to peel up. So that's the most important part. And just get a little closer there. And just one quick line in the middle. See, that's the way to do that. Because it's going to make it much easier to glue down. That's about the middle, I would say. Probably should have measured that out to make sure I'm in the middle. Now, isn't that better than stamping? Boy, did that make my life easy. I'm just not a good stamper. Some days I'm better at it than others. But these elongated stamps that are so fine, they're hard for me. I don't do the best job. And now all you have to do is turn it around and cut off the extra. And voila, I have a gift bag ready for my next craft show down in Ocean Grove, New Jersey. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And you know, what I'm really trying to do is help you lay out pattern because, again, as I said before, layout is so important. And I'm going to link below if I can find a good set of craft bags that are this size, because this size goes well with these dots. You could even do a smaller one, because it goes well with these size daubers. This size dauber. If you go to a bigger bag, you have to start using these types, you know, the bigger ones. You have to go like that. So I thank you for joining me. And until our next craft adventure, have a great day.